everybody, welcome back. I feel like I'm looking so yellow in this light. I don't know what's going on, but I'm wearing my cute little quince sweater, the little brown sweater from the last vlog, and my orders have arrived. The things that I've been ordering on the whole pale olive fair skin Korean beauty makeup has arrived. And actually there's a few things that have arrived, so we're just gonna do a big kind of makeup haul, makeup blab, go through a few of the things. Like obviously I ordered a lot of blushes. I'm not gonna put all of them on my face, but just kind of show you a few things that I picked up in some swatches. And I just wanted to have a little chat and catch up because, well, it's been a week. And that was unintended. But if you saw on the gram or the few shorts that I uploaded, we've been in Palm Springs. We went to the Indian Wells tennis tournament and had so much fun. And I felt like I had to talk about it and catch up and give you a little blab because I've been seeing a few people comment being like, oh, can't wait for the vlog, can't wait for the vlog. And I'm like, there's no vlog. We didn't vlog while we were there. What I posted in the shorts and the reels was really all that we were doing. We went with a group of us. It was Dan's cousin's birthday and we're all just kind of tennis freaks and decided to go for the first few days of the Indian Wells tennis tournament. I'd never been to the first few days of the tournament. So much more fun. All the players are there. Vibes are high. Super great. You get to just walk around on the practice courts and the different little stadiums and everyone's just playing and they're all like having fun and giggling and vibes are good. And then you get first access to all of the pop-ups and the merch shop. So truly was such a blast, but what a boring vlog that would be. I feel like it would just be me getting ready in the Airbnb, which we are sharing with 2 other couples. I'm not gonna be like, everyone please silence, I'm filming now. And then it would just be us silently watching tennis. Like that was it for literally for a few days straight. We were just watching tennis. So that was one for the gram, that was one for the shorts. If you guys are interested in more of those vlogs, if there's anything that you'd want to see in particular in a vlog for a future tennis tournament other than me like getting ready to go watch tennis, let me know. I'm happy to vlog if that's something you want to see. But until then, you saw most of it, most of the highlights I posted on the gram, and here we are, back home to the darkness and the rain. And we're gonna talk about some more makeup. So diving right into the Korean beauty makeup moment, I ordered from a website called Kiyoki, and that's also the store that is in a few of the malls here in the Vancouver and the surrounding areas. And just based on your guys' comments, I'm like, guys, I think we seriously need to plan a trip to Korea. I see so many people posting about like the beauty treatments and the makeup halls and the beauty halls and like so many things that they do in Seoul. And I don't know, like I never really considered that being in like the top of my travel destinations. Like there's a few places that I really want to go. Like I really want to go to Turkey. It's just been, you know, on the top of my mind. I really want to go to Japan, really want to go to Greece. And like, I think Korea's up there now. Now that I've seen all of this, I'm like, whoa, okay, might need to plan out an itinerary and do it for the vlog, do it for the makeup, do it for the beauty, and see what's up. Truly so many brands that I've seen on the few websites that I have access to here in Canada. There's a lot of beautiful products, a lot of products that are, you know, really catered towards more fair skin. So that was exciting. And I think we found a few like really great brands in here. So the one other cushion foundation that I picked up is the Romand Bare Water Cushion. I got this one in the shade 01 Porcelain 17. This is what the product looks like here. Very wet, very juicy, very creamy. And someone had commented on the last video saying that they use a very small amount. Like on the last cushion foundation that I was using, I was kind of going in and like reapplying, and she's like, just do a tiny amount and blend it all over. I do think that this one in particular is a little bit more of a thinner formula in comparison to the Tier one that we use. The Tier one seemed to have a lot more coverage. This one is kind of like that watery texture for sure, where it just feels a little bit lighter, but I'm gonna blend it out and see. I was like pouring SPF 50 all over my face while I was in Palm Springs, but I do feel like I got a little bit of color, a little bit. I just like feel like my freckles are sticking out a little bit more. Is that even possible after a week? Probably, but even this actually feels like quite white on my skin. So it just has that kind of like chalky finish, where again, where we're talking about comparing it to the Lisa Eldridge one, this one just has that slight creaminess, that slight greeny undertone that just seems to complement the skin a little bit more, like adding a little bit more life. Whereas this one is like the Shiseido foundation that we tried, that it's just kind of, it's like I'm just putting white cream on my face, but then the deeper shades are too dark. You know what I mean? Like I need something in between. So this one, yeah, this is a little pale, just a little white. And when you're using these more pale shades, I don't know if it'll pick up. on the camera. But in these very, very fair, very lightest formulas, what I notice when you're applying them is as I put that on my face, you can just see the kind of separated pigment. Like there's literal little white chunks that are sitting on top of the face. Wow, my skin's like really angry right now. That's actually crazy. Yeah, I just find that the fairer pigments just kind of sit on top of the skin and they don't typically blend in as nicely as the shades in the deeper formulas, but this one's like really, really not playing well with my skincare underneath, and yeah, it's just very much sitting on top of the skin. Like I can see the pigment everywhere. So far the cushion foundations haven't been great, at least with the two that I've tried. It's still just a winning Lisa Eldridge formula for me. But someone had commented, I think it was the Amore Pacific cushion foundation, the Hera cushion foundation, and how you can go to the store in Seoul and get your perfect shade match. I thought that was so cool. Oh, I would love to do that. That'd be so fun. But then it would be so devastating if you fell in love with it and then had to replenish. Like, where would you buy that? Or would it just be a shade match to the shades that they already have? Anyway, hopefully you guys can, again, I don't know if this will show up on the camera, but even as I blend in the Lisa Eldridge one, it just has a little bit more of that creaminess, and I just find that the shade match is way better. So these like lighter shades might work for some of you, but for anyone who has that grainy tinge to the skin, I'm sticking with the Lisa Eldridge. It's just so much creamier. It just blends in so much more with my particular skin tone. Anyway, let's talk about blush, because I ordered about 5,000 blushes based on your guys' recommendations. I wanted to mention again the Nuse brand. If I'm saying that wrong, if there's another pronunciation, please forgive, but I think these are like the top. These ones in particular. I got the shade Fig Fog. Oh no, and what was this one? It was Crema. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have an English name. Oh my god. It was something Crema. Anyway, these two here. This one is like matte and blurring. This one is uber super juicy. So pretty. Literally perfect. Fig Fog is so gorgeous. Loved that. And then I also picked up their mousse blushes. This one's in the shade Dim Dum, and this one's in the shade Down. Really cool applicator, so cute. And this one's actually very similar to Fig Fog, where it's that true perfect like kind of gray toned pink. So beautiful. And then they have the shade Down, which is just like a true blue gray. And it's a product that you can use to mix into anything else to make it a little bit more cool toned. So I thought that was great. And that was a suggestion that a lot of you had. Apparently there's some brands that also carry this for foundations where you can mix it in and make the shade work for you. So this is like a good thing for me to note. I'm gonna try mixing in with some of my other foundations and see if that helps to make it like the perfect shade. But even having this for blush, I thought would be so fun. And I'll be honest, I do think something like this is a little bit wasteful when there are products that do work for me. Like even with this brand Nuse, like I found a shade that I love and I think is so cute. But if you had already spent the money on a ton of other blushes, if you had like a lot of liquid blushes that just weren't working for you and you wanted something to make it work, like that's a good option. But I just don't see this being something that I could use enough that I would ever make my way through this when I do have some shades that work. But just know that the option is there. And it's a really pretty formula. I thought that was very cool. And then on that note, a lot of you had recommended the brand Phytosurgence. And you know what's really funny, actually, I'd seen this on TikTok once. I don't think I realized that it was from Vancouver. It's a Canadian brand, it's from Vancouver. Phytosurgence, I ordered a bunch of their blushes as well as a lip balm on your recommendation. And a lot of the shades do seem to be that perfect kind of cool toned blush world. I did already swatch all of these and I was really excited about the shade Condensate. I thought that was going to be the one that was going to be for me, but actually I think out of all of them I prefer Plume. But there's the little pots here. Very cute packaging. Very similar vibes to the Salt New York Hannah Louise Poston collection, but obviously like this is available in Canada. This was very expensive to ship to Canada, so if you're looking for something that's more local, this is a great option for you, and then vice versa if you're in the States and the Salt New York is available to you, that's great. But I do think that this is a lot more pigmented. The Phytosurgence ones, the Salt New York ones are a lot more juicy and kind of sheer, which is also really pretty. So I'll show you the two I picked up here. This is the shade Plume and this is the shade Condensate. This has a little bit more of that purpley undertone. This is a little bit more of that like just like slightly warmer. So I think out of all of them, Plume is the one that I'm the most excited about, and it kind of actually reminds me of the same shade as NYX Nude Beige. Like this is that vibe. Very similar. I really didn't like Wisp. Wisp was like a lot more bright purple. It just felt a little bit too bright to me, but I'm still willing to try. And then same with the shade Steam, which was just a little bit deeper. I just felt like I could have stopped at like Plume. I didn't need to buy all of these, but I was just curious. I wanted to see them. And be able to swatch them for you guys too. And then just like the Nuse, they have the shade Dust Cream Blush, which is just that pure cool toned gray that you can also use to mix with the other blushes to make them a little bit more cool toned. So I thought it would actually be interesting to see if it works with some of my favorite shades like MAC Blush Please, just to like try mixing that in. If something's a little bit warm, you can kind of make your own little concoction and make that the perfect cool tone, which is really cool. That actually seems to blend really nicely together. That'll be fun to try and have on hand. I think I would use this cream version probably a lot more than the liquid version, just because I do have so many more cream blushes. But yeah, thanks to everyone who recommended Phytosurgence. Let's rock with the shade Plume. Yeah, this is way more pigmented than the Salt New York ones. Almost kind of giving me a little bit of Nude Sticks Bareback vibe, where it is almost so much more pigmented that I feel like I can and like kind of have to use this all over my face, whereas the Salt New York ones were like so sheer that it felt like just such a nice soft light wash of color. Obviously I didn't need to go so heavy-handed with this, but it's just a little bit more of a thick pigment, like a thick formula. I really had to blend that in for it to be seamless, but still really pretty. Really, really pretty color. Let's swatch that next to Bareback. Oh, not the same as Bareback at all. Sorry, I take it back. Whoa, now that I'm swatching it next to this, Bareback is so much warmer. Okay, sorry, this is crazy. So this is Nude Sticks Bareback. This is Plume. Look at Plume on my hand, but look at it blended out. Blended out on my face, it looks like Bareback. Isn't that crazy? What does that even mean? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Like if I showed you my hand, you would think that I applied Bareback because that's how it looks, whereas this is Plume. That's what I just applied. I don't understand. Oh, speaking of Bareback, by the way, I did get my refill officially off of Nude Sticks Canada. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Wild and Crazy green Tower 28 concealer in the shade BW and use that for some extra coverage. My skin, as I said, is very seemingly angry with me. From our little trip, it's like, please get some moisture on your skin. We were so dry, and please also eat a vegetable. Some of the other base products that I really wanted to pick up actually while we were in Palm Springs was the Natasha Denona foundation and concealer, which so many of you have recommended. A lot of you also recommended the About Face concealer and foundation, and they specifically had shades for olive skin tones. And I went to two of the Ultas. There was two Ultas, one in Palm Springs, one in Palm Desert, or whatever. I went to both of the locations. All of the light shades were sold out of stock. If you guys think it is the tippity top, let me know if I should try them and I will order it to my PO box. I kind of just wanted to see them in person first and give them a little swatchy swatch. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to differentiate shades. When you're just looking at swatches online, it's so much better to see it in person. So I kind of wanted to wait until I was physically there. So let me know which ones are your favorite and if you think it's still worth me picking up. If the shades are indeed tried and true by you, please holler. For the lips, I also picked up this Calm Conditions lip balm in the shade Silent Seas, also recommended by you. It almost has no color. It's like the most sheer wash. Yeah, it's like truly barely there. There's also no like gloss whatsoever. It kind of feels like a Blistex formula almost, like a true just classic lip balm. I feel like we've had better lip products, but just thought I'd show you that. Silent Seas on the lips. Another top recommendation from you guys was the Kulfi La 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 Lassie Lips Staining Lip Liner. I also picked up the shade Platonic, way too deep for me. I was much more intrigued by this shade, which is a little bit warm. I would have loved this to be a little bit more cool toned, but I shall show it to you on the lips nonetheless. And I was really excited about this because thus far all the lip stains that we've been trying, or like these lip liner lip stains, have been like a liquid formula. And even like my Summer Fridays one that I tried, the almond. After a few uses, it's already so hard to apply. Like it just dries up and you have to sit there and wait. Even though I store it upside down, but it's like you apply one nice line and then it's almost like you're waiting 12,000 years for it to refill again. It's very bizarre. So I love that this is literally like a lip liner, but then it's staining. Fascinating formula possibilities, but also like, hell yeah, a creamy lip liner that also stains and doesn't feel drying on the lips. I'm all on board. But this shade in particular is a little bit warm for my liking. I just prefer something that's a little bit more cool toned. This to me like pulls like a true pink, whereas my natural lip tone is a little bit more on that purpley side. It's like a true cool mauve, whereas this is like a pink. So I love the idea of this formula. I just wish that there was a shade that I preferred a little bit more. And then speaking of lip stains that pull a little bit pink, I had also picked up this Fwee Pink Obsession Stay Fit lip tint, and the brand Fwee was another one that you guys had highly recommended checking out. And unfortunately, there were a lot of shades that were sold out just on the website and also in store. So if there are any particular shades that you think I should be on the wait list for, definitely let me know. But this one was just a little bit too pink, kind of similar to this Kulfi lip stain, where even when I swatch it, it's a much warmer kind of bubblegum cotton candy pink. It also smells like candy. It's so crazy. I love the packaging. I think it's so cute, and the tiny little doe foot applicator, like if I can find a shade that works for me, I'm so down. This is so cute, and it's also a lip stain, so love that idea. Didn't love that color. And then another product that I picked up from Fwee was this blurring pot, and this is in the shade Hurt. It's kind of like a deeper burnt berry shade, but how cute is this little packaging? So cute, and I love that kind of blurred out matte vibe, and it's not something that I wear a lot, but what a pretty shade. I thought we could try that on the lips as well, just to see how that looks. And again, a lot of these shades were sold out. This one was a little bit warmer. I think this in a true like cool tone berry would be so pretty. And I love the idea of having that really pretty blurred finish on the lips. I think it's so nice. Like the formula is so nice. I just need to like get my hands on another shade. I feel like we could try a little bit of this on the cheeks too. Let me just pat that in. With the warmth in this, actually, it really reminds me of autumn, and I think this would be a really pretty like fall blush. I'm applying that in the center of my cheeks, like trying to really mimic that natural flush, because that's how this blurring pot kind of makes me feel. Like truly bitten from the crispy fall air, like that's the feeling that it invokes in me. More from Fwee. I want more Fwee. If I could go to the store, is there a store in Seoul? Like, another very cool toned appropriate product is the Natasha Denona Taupe eye pencil. I have previously tried, used, and loved the Sarah Creel Taupe eyeliner, and so I thought I would grab another one to try. So pretty, so perfectly, truly cool toned. Just rubbing a little bit of that into the lashes, like, yeah. It just adds like a soft smoke to the lashes instead of being like really harsh and deep. It adds a little bit of that softness to the lashes. But I feel like I put so much warmth on my face, this almost looks off-putting. Like I need to match these eyes with something cool toned. It's like too warm. I'm gonna tone this down a little bit and try to bring some of the cooler tones back in. I'm gonna use that Fig Fog shade, which I have to say I keep forgetting. You literally need like a quarter of a pump. I keep doing a full pump and I'm like, oh my God, so much product. You only need a little bit. Yes, it's that barely there wash of color. It's so pretty and it's so juicy on the cheeks. So nice, love that so much. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that Romand Taupey shade lip pencil. And then I picked up a Romand Dim Mauve gloss, and I'm gonna try this one as well on top of that. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. That's that juiciness we're looking for. Ooh, ooh. Okay, Romand, go off, go off. Let's apply some mascara and a little highlight to top it off. And that's the finished look. So those were a few of the products that I picked up, a few packages that I had been waiting on that I kind of wanted to go through when I had filmed that last like pale olive makeup look. So here's a little roundup, some of the things I purchased, and you can let me know what you think should remain in the daily makeup pile. We've definitely been doing a lot of makeup testing over the last couple of weeks, so it'll be interesting to see which products kind of stay and make their way into the permanent fair-skinned everyday makeup role. But yeah, I'm very much open to any more of your suggestions. There's a few specific lip products and cheek products that I'd love to get my hands on once they are restocked, but I do think that we have a really good pile of some products that are just perfect for more pale skin and a few new brands that we've really happily discovered. So thank you guys so much again for all of your fabulous recommendations, and I'm excited to keep playing. And I think the main thing that I found is just finding some really good cool tone products, but also really amping up the glow. When my skin is fair, like staying really hydrated both on the face and the body makes such a huge difference. Like having kind of a body oil, maybe if your limbs are exposed, like having a bit more glow applied, I think that makes it a big difference. And then I just find myself gravitating towards like really glowy, like more than ever, products on the face, because I think when it has that gloss and that shine and that healthy look, that's where you happily avoid the pale sickly side of the fair skinned life. So just really making sure that you've got a highlighter on lock that you love and some gloss or if, at least in my preference, like if I'm wanting that more like kind of matte blurry look, that's where I'd reach for those deeper shades. Or when I really love those like deep berry stains, applying those on the lips and the cheeks to add more color and life, I think is like also an amazing look. So if I'm fair, I'm either going for like that icy glow, or I want that like really berry stained look. Those are the two kind of vibes that I'm really happy with and I think work very well. And then, you know, kind of a miss on some of these base products. I really am curious. Please let me know if you guys have any other recommendations outside of the ones that we've tried, but I'll keep plugging away. I'm happy to try the Natasha Denona, the About Face, and see if anything tops our beloved Lisa Eldridge skin tint, because she's remaining #1 for now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this look, a little chat, a little catch up. Here's some of the products that I picked up. Thank you so much as always for being here and for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon for a new video. Bye!